Guys, what's going on? Okay, so I have this really nice Voiceless Boys Ryu-Ge deck profile here ready for you guys. This deck is awesome. It's really nice to play. I've been having a blast playing this deck. And but before we begin, who are the Ryu-Ge? The Ryu-Ge, they are dragons, worms, dinosaurs, reptiles. They all represent these types of factions, right? If you guys follow the dinosaur and the reptile story, the reptiles evolve into dinosaurs, right? That's something that happened in real life. Now, in the Konami storyline, the reptiles they evolve into dinosaurs. Then after that, they evolve into dragons, and eventually they evolve again into their final form, which is the worms. So the Ryujin represents all the stages of the reptile evolution in the Yu-Gi-Oh storytelling. If you guys didn't know, so this is what they represent. The Metaphys also they kind of represent as well the story of the reptiles evolution, and that's how it goes. So that's what the Ryuji is, and the Metaphys as well. I have a Metaphys deck that I'm working on as well, and I will show it to you guys in due time, pretty soon. All right, guys, let's begin. So this is the Ryujin Voiceless Boys deck profile here that I have, and this deck, wow, I am in love with it. Let me show you the deck profile quick, and then we're gonna move on into the gameplays. So first of all, let's start with the staple cards. One draw, draw and Lockbird. Triple O. This is from the Voiceless Boys engine. She is one of our main cards here, and one of our main searchers of the deck. So triple copies for the staples, 2 Maxi, 2 copies of Herald. So we have five normal summons. We have the Herald, the Divine Herald, and we have Low as well. They both 5 copies are gonna be our normal summon and searchers. For the staple, triple Ash and 1 Fualos. From the Voiceless Boys engine, we have 2 copies of Saphira, the Dragon Queen, 1 Soravis, the Dragon Sage, 1 Trias of Haracha, 1 copy. From the Ryujin engine, we have Kaiba, 1 copy. We have the Kaido Ryujin Emba, 1 copy. 2 copies of the Kava. So basically what you want to do is go for these guys and create powerful board with them. Trust me, you only need 1 copy of each, and unless your opponent is playing Diddy Crow in their main deck, which is really rare, you don't have to worry about these cards being banished. Anyways, you can still bring them back with the spell cards from the Ryujin spell cards. So you don't need to worry about them being banished. Even if they banish the dark and the light Ryujin, you can still bring them back from the banishing zone. The cards that I'll say that you will have to worry about will be Kashtira. If Kashtira banished them, that's a problem right there. Okay, so let's continue. But from each Ryujin, the normal Ryujin effect monsters, you only need 1 copy. Now you can argue maybe you want to run another copy of Emba. Now the dinosaur Kyoro, we don't need much of them. I'll say maybe a second copy of Kaido, but you don't really need it. It's up to you guys. Now, Kava, we do need two copies of Kava because we need the spell card. The Ryujin Realm Winds. This card states, any monster sent from the field to the graveyard during your opponent's turn is banished instead. This card is a dimension fissure on your opponent's turn. And this is one of our main cards of the deck. And this is one of the cards you always want to go for the Ryujin. Let's continue. We have one Nibiru from the Ryujin engine, one Tensei Amba, one Suravis, the Ancient and Ascendant. This card is really important. It can protect the field of the Voiceless Boys and also the Ryujin. You definitely need this card, one copy. Two copies of Skull Guardian. This is our main boss of the deck, one of the main bosses. You need two copies of him, and he will protect the field, and also searches as well. Two copies of the main boss of the deck, Sosei, the Ryujin Misba. This guy stays. During your main phase, you can add one non-pendulum Ryujin card from your deck to your hand, then destroy this card. You're always gonna play this card in the Pendulum Zone, destroy it, and search for Ryujin cards. I'm gonna show you some gameplays and tutorial of how to play this deck later on. Now, this is one of the main reasons why this card is so powerful, and you need two copies of it. Listen to this. If a monster on the field is destroyed by battle, let's see. Once per turn, if a monster on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, while this card is in your extra deck, you can tribute one level 10 Ryujin monster, special summon this card on the field, and it is treated as a ritual summon. Really, really good. Then, destroy up to 2 cards your opponent controls, and if you do, place that many Ryujin spells and trap from your deck to the field. This is why this card is really powerful, and he can also pick up the effect of the spell cards. So if you have the spell card of Ryujin Ram, the Dino Domain, he will get this effect once per turn when an effect of a monster on the field is less than the attack of the monster that you control. Quick effect. You can place one Ryujin continuous spell card on the bottom of the deck. That means any of the Ryujin spell cards, including the Dino Domain. Negate the activation, which is really, really good. That means with Amba and Misba, you will have this effect, and they are 3,500, and this one is 30,000. Like, this deck is insane, guys. You're gonna see some gameplays. I'm in love with this deck. Okay, let's see. So yes, these 3 spell cards are really, really important here. All right, let's continue. The spell cards. One Ryujin War Zone. I was thinking of running 2 copies, but I noticed that 1 copy is good enough. It's up to you if you want to run 2. I can also recommend to run 2, and that's because if this card is banished or destroyed, you're not going to be able to perform the board that you want. But the main reason why I'm running just 1 copy, I mean, I've seen people running 2, but I believe 1 is good enough because you want to keep the deck consistent. And sometimes if you're running too many Ryujin, you most likely will break and not do much. You don't want to do that. You want to open up with the Voiceless Boys cards in your hand to continue and stuff like that, right? So that's why I reduce it to 1, and also the Warzone to 1. I believe 1 copy is good enough. Now it's up to you if you guys want to run 2. Okay, so what this card does, when this card is activated, if you have these guys in your deck, you can special summon all three of them on the field when you activate Warzone. When this card is activated, take one dinosaur, that's Kaiba, take one sea serpent, that's Amba, take one worm monster, that's the Kava. So you special summon all three, and once you do that, and then I think you can also, and then it says, and let's see, serpent and one worm from your deck. Also, let's see, you can, and one, oh no, this is to add them. So basically, what you want to do is add the Kava to your hand, send Emba to the graveyard, and Kaiba banish. That's when you activate it to add them. Once you do that, you can, then it says here, also, let's see, and then it says, if you have Sosei Ryujin Misba in the extra deck zone, that's this guy right here, the main boss of the deck, that's Misba. You have him on your extra deck. So if you have Sosei Ryujin in your extra deck, face up, you can special summon all three Ryujin monsters with different types, one each from the deck, graveyard, and banishment. That's insane. Once you have them on the field, you can go for Barudras. Now it's up to you if you want to run 2 copies. I do recommend 2 copies as well, but I want to have more options to different extra deck monsters. But I do recommend 2 copies of Barudras. You definitely need 2 copies. But that's just me. I think one is good enough. So yes, you always want to go for the board going first with Barudas to have an Omni Negate and protect the field. Let's continue. 2 copies of the Prayers of the Voiceless Boys, 1 Barrier, 1 Blessing. You only need 1 copy of each. Trust me, you don't need more than that, because you're gonna have protection on the field, and the Ryujin cards can protect the field. And on top of that, this card as well can protect the field, and also you're gonna have 2 Omni Negates on the field, in the form of the Skull Guardian and Misba, and also Barudras. So you don't need to worry much. Let's see. Yes, 1 Barrier, 1 Blessing, the spell card of the Voiceless Boys. 1 Ryujin Realm Dino Domain. 1 Ryujin Realm Scene Spare, 1 copy of the Worm Wind, the Staples to Caught by the Graves, 1 Crossout, Triple Ryujin Rising. This is our main spell card for the Ryujin. This card will add you any Ryujin. So basically, every time I activate this card, I always go for Misba. I place him on the field, blow it up, and add the field spell card. 1 Infinite Impermanence, 1 Radiance of the Voiceless Boys, and Ryujin End. For the extra deck, 1 Entity, 1 Header of Light, 1 Super Draw Rail Cannon. With these cards, you attack, you deal damage, you can go with Divine Seals. 1 Barudas, 1 Super Draw Rail Cannon, 1 Divine Seals, 1 Super Slayer, 1 Gravity Controller, 1 IP Masquerina, 1 Lina, 1 Dark, the Dark Hammer, 1 Dynamando. Now, it's up to you if you guys want to have 2 copies of the Dynamando. 1 is good enough, you don't need more. 1 Espilironite, as Skull Talker, and finally Underworld Goddess for getting rid of tower defense monsters. Yes, one Dinomando is good enough. You don't need to run more than that. Now, again, it's up to you if you guys want to run more. Alright, guys, so this is the Voiceless Boys Ryu-Ge deck that I've been working for a couple of days now. And let's move on with the gameplays, guys. I have some cool gameplays here I want to show you. Let's move on into the gameplays now. Alright, guys, now that we are in the gameplay zone, I want to start with this gameplay here against this really nice what appears to be a Drytron deck. So let me show you the deck before we begin. So if you guys like this Drytron, it's a 40 deck card. He's also playing the Horus engine here. Go ahead and copy it. It's a really nice deck. It looks powerful too. Alright, let's begin. So I start first here, and like I always do, I'm gonna show you going second place as well, like I always do. And let me show you here how you can perform a really powerful board going first so you can win at the second turn. So the first thing you want to do is always start with low, that way you can test your opponent's hand to see if they have hand traps. Once you do that, you begin the Voiceless Boys engine. You summon the Skull Guardian. Once it's on the field, low will summon to the field. With the Skull Guardian, you want to add the Misbah. You blow it up. You activate the War Zone. You add the Kava to the hand, just like I explained in the deck profile. You summon all the Ryu-Ge. Then, after that, you want to go for Barudras, the final Grinder of the End Time. So you have an Omni Negate on the field. Look at this beautiful, beautiful board, guys. You have two Omni Negates, Barudras and the Skull Guardian. You also have the Tensing Emba. So if you activate a Ryu-Ge effect and your opponent activates something that will counter it, Emba will blow itself up to negate the effect. That's an interruption right there. You also have the Suravel, the Ancient and Ascendant, to protect the field from targeting cards' effect. And you also have Radiance, so you can summon another special summon another Skull Guardian from the deck. And you also have Ryu-Ge Realm Wind. Look at this. Any monster sent from the field to the graveyard during your opponent's turn is banished instead. This is a crazy board right here. It's really hard to get to board break this board. Now it has a weakness. We have two dark monsters here, so cards like Super Paramelization can break it, but you can counter this if you pick Emba and you attach it with Barudras. That way you have a low. The only thing that you will have to worry will be low, because if your opponent activates Super Poly, they're gonna use the Super Poly on low and Skull Guardian. Now, what happens here? My opponent board breaks me with the Baruda Omni Negate here, so he got rid of one negate, but I still have more interruptions here, and I still won that duel anyways. So let's continue. I activate the trap card. My opponent here activates Super Polymerization, and he gets rid of my Barudras and Amba to summon the Swamp King. Now I have only one negate, I summon here the Kava, and I negate his glory. And I believe somewhere here he gives up. Boom, boom, boom. You see? He had the cards to board break, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to win the duel. Alright, guys, let's move on into the next duel. And I was playing here. I'm gonna show you the going first, because that way you have an idea to how create powerful board with this deck. It serves as a tutorial as well. So let's move on. This is another Drytron deck here. It's a different build, and this is like a pure Drytron. No, a Crystron. My bad. So if you guys like it, go ahead and copy this deck. Alright. He's also playing here one Mekaba for some reason. I don't know how he summons Mekaba, but I mean I see no Alistair here. It's a weird deck. Alright, let's begin the play. I start first. The first thing I do, again, well, on this turn I activate the Dragon Queen. My opponent negates it with Ghost Bell. I activated the prayers, activated the barrier, added the skull, banished the Dragon Queen. I summon the Skull Guardian. Summon low. Always activate the Skull Guardian's effect first. That way your opponent doesn't ash it. You chain low on it, and it will save that search from ash. I added the what's the name? The Mispa to activate the Ryu-Ge engine. Summon all my Ryu-Ge. You're gonna follow the same patterns that you see here. Went here for Barudras, for Omni Negates, activated the Kava, search, and my opponent gives up. This is the board that you always want to go for so you can win on the following turn. And if your opponent board breaks you, this deck has a really good recovery. You're gonna see the other gameplays. Alright, let's continue here. And I was playing here against going second against this Wind Dragon of Ra deck. So if you guys like it, go ahead and copy this deck. It's a really nice Wind Dragon of Ra deck. He's running Dragoon here. Alright, let's begin. This is one of the longest duo too, because he board breaks me with the Wind Dragon of Ra spear. So he lets me go first because obviously the main point of the Wind Dragon is to OTK your opponent. So I go first, and I begin with the Ryu-Ge engine. Activated the War Zone. Same thing, always go for Kava to your hand. Send the Emba to the graveyard. And the Dinosaur Kaiba, banish it. Summon all three of them. Activate both cards. Here I went with the Skull Guardian, with the Voiceless Voice engine. Here I secure the field with Barudras. Set and pass. My opponent here board breaks. But then, like I said, this deck has a good recovery. You can create a small board here, such as with the Jurian. And that's because if he gets banished, you can tribute any monsters on the field and summon Misbah. And you know what that means. If you have Dino, the Dino Domain on the field, you can negate a monster's effect. So it's a good recovery if your opponent board breaks you in their turn. Now the real recovery will come in the following turn. That will be like the third turn, when you start doing the Voiceless voice engine and continuing as well with the Ryu-Ge engine as well. My opponent uses here the Raigeki. Here he activates the Sun God. I activate here the Blessing to add the low. Banish to Ritual Summon for the Skull Guardian. Activated the effect. Also, Kaba will activate. Kaba, every time you opponent special summons or normal summons, or if you do, you can always bring him back from the banishing zone. Look at this. You see, on the third turn, what a nice recovery. I have here a monster. I have here another interruption to summon another Skull Guardian and have an Omni Negate. You have Skull Guardian for no Omni Negate. You have the Realm still on the field to banish your opponent's monsters. As you can see here, the Spearmore is banished. And you also have Infinite Impermanence in Ash, which is really good. You have some good defense here. Summon the second copy of the Skull Guardian. Here I activate the Skull Guardian's effect to negate the Millennium card. And my opponent gives up here. Alright, let's continue with the other duels, guys. And I'm gonna leave this one for last. Yes, let's move on with the going second ones now. Oh, I have another one here going first. And this is going against a really nice Kashtira Mimigore deck. It's a nice build. I liked it. I was able to defeat it because I played really smart. Before he blow up the field, I got rid of the cards that he needed to blow my field. So if you guys like this deck, go ahead and copy it. If you guys recognize the cards, it's a really nice deck. Alright, let's move on into the play. So I start first, and I have a really good hand here. I have a Amba, a Heror, I also have a Radiance, and the Ryu-Ge end. It's a little bricky, but I can still manage. Okay, always go with Amba. You place Amba, Amba will protect your Ryu-Ge cards from cards that targets it or tries to negate it. You will be able to use Amba's effect. See, you can negate your opponent's cards or effect activating response to the activation of your Ryu-Ge spell cards or effect, then destroy this card. Really good. This card is awesome. That's why you need 2 copies, and also you need 2 copies to activate the field spell and summon him on the field along with the other Ryujin. So let's continue. We add here the Mispa, activate the Mispa, blow it up to add the Warzone. Warzone will activate to special summon to add our Kamba, send the other 2 cards. Now we're going to summon them on the field. And then we're gonna XC summon for the big guy, Barudras. Summon him on the field, activate the Canvas effect, add the Worm Wings, and this is a really nice board. You know, if your opponent interrupts, you can continue. We have an Omni Negate, and we have cards here to banish every time your opponent summons monsters on the field and they use it for materials. It will get banished. And we have Ryujin End to pop cards on the field by sending our Ryujin monsters that are in the banishing zone, or as you negate with Barudras, you can target 2 of them from either from the graveyard or the banishing zone and pop a card on the field with the Ryujin End. That's what this trap card does. It recycles back our Ryujin cards, monsters, to pop a card on the field. We have a really good defense here. Let's continue. You activate the card right away. My opponent summons the Yugioh Master. I negate it with Barudras. My opponent here activates the Maker, and I do a really smart play here. Look at this. He summons here the Yugioh Dragon. Look what he does. When this guy is flip summoned, destroy all face-up monsters you control except Yugioh monsters. That means all my monsters will go bye-bye if my opponent managed to activate this, flip this card on the field. But I activated the Ryujin End at that specific moment to destroy this card, and that way my opponent couldn't get rid of my board, which is really good. Watch. He activates the effect of Mimigul Arfin to flip the dragon to blow my field, but before he did that, I activated the Ryujin End to blow the dragon. Look at this. I recycle back my 2 Ryujin and blow the dragon. Boom, my opponent realizes that. He noticed he can't do much and he quits. Now, once you do that, the effect of Emba will activate. Emba, as you can see right here, will activate to special summon itself on the field. And with that, you will have monster negate. And, well, not monster negate, you will have a monster attack reduction with the effect of Wind. Now, if we have the Dino Domain on the field, you could have a monster negate as well, which is really good. This deck is awesome, guys. If you guys do this, craft this deck, you're gonna have a blast playing it. All right, guys, let's continue. And now we're gonna move on with the going second play here. And I'm gonna play here against a what appears to be a really nice Fallen of Arbas deck. 60 cards. If you guys like it, go ahead, copy it. He's playing the DDD Vice King Requiem to prevent me from special summoning monsters on the field. It's a really nice deck. He's running Heavy Storm as well here to get rid of cards, powerful spells and traps. It's a really nice deck. I like it. Alright, guys, let's begin the play. So these are the going second now, and let's see how we do, guys. So I have a really good hand here. I have a Maxi, Ash, Nibiru, Tensei. We have Tensei and Sosei and Susi. Alright, the Mispa, Ryujin. I begin the effect. Always keep in mind. Always go with Tensei. You place Tensei first, then you activate Amba. So if your opponent tries to negate the effect with Ash or any card that can prevent Amba or your Ryujin spells or traps, always go with Amba first so you can negate those effects. Here begin the Ryujin engine. Activated the Kamba. Summon the Tensei, the Kaiba, and the Amba. And I went for game here. My opponent gave up. Oh man. Alright guys. Let's continue again. I think I already showed the Wind Dragon. Yeah, I think I already showed it if I can recall well. Let's see. Let's go here going against a really nice Exorcister deck. So if you guys like it, it kind of looks like mine's. He's playing 3 copies of the 7 Takian here. This card is really good because you can add the it's an addition, so you can have more a little bit more consistency. It adds a little bit of consistency into the engine. But if you take a look, he's not running any cards like Call by the Grave or Crossout. He should have, because if this deck gets drawn, it's done, you know. But I know he wants to keep the deck consistent, and I can understand that. So if you guys like it, go ahead. Alright, let's play the gameplay. So it's my opponent's turn, and I have a Draw and Lockbird, a Herald, a Ash, Skull Guardian, and the Radiance. See, if you draw this deck, that deck that he has of the Exorcisters, the deck is done. It's gonna pass because you have no counter to it. No Call by the Grave, no Crossout. See, that's why you always go with Amba first. So if your opponent tries to negate the effect of any Ryujin cards, you can always prevent that from happening. Now I begin here the Ryujin engine, and my opponent gives up, just like that. Alright guys, let's continue with the next duel, and this is going against let's see how many going seconds I have. Yeah, I think I showed this one already. Yeah, let's see this one too. Yeah, okay, let's move on with the last duel, and this one is going against a really nice Lightsworn Thunder Dragon deck. This is the one that I wanted to save for last. So if you guys like this deck, go ahead and copy it. It's really nice. I can see he wins a lot of duels with this deck, because once you establish a board with Thunder Dragon Colossus on the field, your opponent your opponent won't be able to search. But I managed to defeat it, also with hand chops and stuff like that. And yep, if you guys like it, go ahead and copy it. It's a really nice deck. Alright, let's do the final duel, guys. And I have a really good hand here. I have an Ash, a Saphira, Misbah, the Prayers, and Imperm. My opponent activates the Thunder Dragon's effect by banishing it. Obviously, you want to negate that because you don't want your opponent to have a a Colossus on the field. He goes ahead, still summons it anyways to prevent me from searching. He summons the Colossus and he passes here, but take a look. I have an Imperm, which I can negate his effect. And I have a really good hand as well for the engines. My opponent goes ahead and maxes. I'm gonna take the challenge. So I go ahead, I use the Misbah to start the Ryu-Ge engine. Same thing, you always want to add the Kava, send the Kaiba to the banishing zone, and the Embat, the Dolphin, sent to the graveyard. You summon the Emba and the other two. Once you do that, you pop any cards on the field with the Emba, and my opponent gives up. Just like that, guys. Alright, guys. Alright, guys, so this is the Voiceless Boys Ryu-Ge deck that I've been working for quite some time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Leave any comment, any suggestions I would take if we can make this deck more powerful than what it is. And well, I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay tuned for more deck profiles and more news. And take care. Peace.